Hey, everyone, it's Veronica.
Hey, it's Andy.
Cheers, it's Cheryl.
Howdy, it's Dalton, and this is Logging Into UKG, a Chicago Users production.
Your HCM podcast by HCM admins for HCM admins. And Dalton, where are we today?
Well, today, Tuesday, November 4th, 2025, we are day one at UKG's Aspire conference.
Can I say it feels like day 1.5?
It does.
Yes, it
Because
does.
we all started working yesterday,
Yes.
which is different than normal.
Well, and before we even get into just the conference, I just want to go ahead and say this marks 2 years from our first episode, which was live at Aspire. We had our preview episode, but our first official one was live.
That's true. That's true.
So happy 2 years listening to those, who have been following us along. Thank you.
It's amazing.
And if you're not listening, shame.
Shame,
still have
shame.
time.
If you're not
Yes.
listening, you'll never
Time.
know that Veronica shamed
Shame.
you.
That's true, yes.
And might I say, it's so good to be able to record all this with everybody live in person here.
It is great to
It's
see you all, yes.
It's such a good feeling. I
We
miss
know
you all.
everyone's body cues.
Yes,
Not to
nonverbal,
speak.
yes.
Yay. So, okay, I've done this 2 years. What is this, year 2, 3?
Yeah.
This is your
You're
year three?
3. I've always started us off. What you're going to get from us this week is the highs, the lows, and the in-between. This is a real podcast, real people, real experiences. We've got some awesome things that have happened. We want to share those. We want to share some things that maybe UKG could improve. And then we're going to tease some things for the rest of this week. So that means you've got to stay tuned for day 2 and day 3. That's all I'll say for now. Do we want to start high? Let's go low first. And I don't call it low. Let's start with some misses.
All right,
Yeah.
I think it's a
Room
good
for
way to put that.
improvement.
Room for,
Room
yes.
for improvement, yeah.
Yeah. Constructive feedback.
Well, I'll go ahead and kick it off with that. And I think our room for improvement with the constructive feedback starts with the check-in. Like, we'll start right at the top there.
Right there.
I think that the check-in process was actually pretty smooth this year in terms of the actual getting the badges. They had a really nice, text message, as well as in the app being able to just go ahead and scan. Like, that moved so much faster this year than last year. But right after the check-in,
Yeah, that's what
Like, boom.
Yes.
going from that, like, hey, this, it started off with a very long line, but it moved quickly to get in there. And then we went to the swag pickup.
Chaos.
And I'm not sure what happened, whether UKG couldn't get the larger room that they had last year. Whatever happened, the swag pickup area was in a much smaller spot that did not have adequate sort of line divisions of where people should wait. Once they got into the area to pick up that swag, it was a little confusing as to where they should be going, whether it was one of the 2 t-shirt lines, whether it was the water bottle line. I think that caused a little bit of confusion. And it just wasn't like the wow factor for the kickoff that I think we're used to. And then there was a few things that, we're not saying that UKG has to provide certain things every year. But because they've been going ahead and
Come on
providing...
now, Dalton.
Yes.
Well, no, so...
Say it.
There's some
Come on,
basics
yes.
here.
But what I'm going to say, though, is because it's been provided every year, people who have been coming every year come to expect it. And because we've come to expect it and there weren't certain things like backpacks, things like the notebook that has all of the agendas, and I know that it's in the app, and I like the app, and I don't want to slam that, but I do love the notebook. There's just something really nice about having
There
your Aspire
is.
notebook with your notes from each year.
Yeah.
Like, I miss that and I love it, and I want it
and
so
the
bad.
agenda's in there.
The agenda, but people sit in sessions and take notes.
Yes.
I cleaned my backpack out to not weigh it down because I thought I was getting a notebook.
Same.
And brought no note, like not even a notepad. I have nothing.
I went out and bought
He
one
bought
last
one?
night.
Yeah.
That's insanity,
It
right?
is insanity.
And so you're the sweet one of all of us. We know it. And Dalton's gonna schmooze it. And I think there are a few things that made that secondary part of check-in problematic. No signage to really direct you. There wasn't pre-communication that it was changing, which I think would have alleviated a lot of these challenges if they
Yeah.
just would have said, hey, where the community lounge used to be, we're now going to move the swag pickup.
Yeah.
And you go through this process. oh, and by the way, that's here, right? I think that, to me, that was the challenge. And to your point, it's wonderful. I love a good packing cube. I love a little toiletry bag. Those things make me happy. But what's practical during this week is a notebook. And I have to just tell you guys something. I was in a session and someone had a UKG notebook. And unfortunately,
was it employees or?
it was a prospective, that's not even the right word, it sounded like a big prospective, a prospective customer. And if I could tell you the roar when the team, when everybody in the session, and this was before the session started, person walked in with a notebook and we're like, oh, where'd you get that notebook? And everybody's like, well, we didn't get a notebook. And we're like, did you buy it? Oh no, I'm a prospect. And it was like, what?
Coveted item, yes.
Miss number one, like, you don't give out notebooks to your non-customers. That just didn't sit well with the people in the room. And now we have to go try to steal one from the
Or get your box
get one,
Right,
or get my bucks or whatever, and go
UKG
buy
Aspire
a
bucks.
UKG notebook.
If they're selling them, we're not. I
haven't
haven't been to the store.
They have notebooks.
Oh,
they're
they
not,
do?
They're not the classic notebooks that we all know and love, but they are a actual.
They're a notebook, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know.
Checking
You'll have to
this-
save enough though. We don't know how much they are.
I plan on collecting these UKG Aspire bucks. We'll get to that in a little bit, folks.
All right.
We'll get to that.
Okay, so then we've now registered. We've now gotten our swag.
Yes.
Should we go to the opening session?
Well, no,
Before the
'cause
opening session,
we had stuff yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
I was
Yes,
like, even
yeah.
though this stuff wasn't for everybody, and Andy and I talked about this, not on the podcast, we're going to talk about it now, about how not everything was for everybody, but I do want to highlight a few wins. Like, there was a pre-meetup for some user group folks, which I thought was, I only was only in there for 15
great.
minutes, 20 minutes because of flight things, but from what I've heard, and you all there the whole
Yep.
time, positive?
Positive.
Very positive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
Hey,
positive.
It was great.
And I wanna
Collaboration and
give a big shout outs to all the user group leaders that, they hopefully are listening to this episode. So the HR enthusiasts, the Michigan group, the Portland group,
The very
Vancouver, the ones
various
that haven't,
Northwestern.
right,
Yes.
merged yet. Yes.
yes, Pennsylvania I think was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I missing anybody?
Did you say Michigan?
I
Yeah.
think
You
Michigan.
He did say
Yeah.
Michigan.
I don't know. There's probably others that we don't remember.
Those
know about.
were
Yeah,
the ones
know
that I
about.
think
Those
that
were the
were
main ones.
in person.
Because I know there's
Yes.
some that are East Coast. There's a few,
Yeah.
but that's good.
There was a New England there.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good. Awesome.
Yeah. So big shout out to all the leaders. You're doing great work.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Yay!
Hey, guys.
Oh, that was it.
That was it.
That was it. We
Peace
were all
them out.
kidding.
Bye.
Yes.
Yeah. See ya.
But there was also other events, which to me, that's why I said 1.5-ish, because we were all very busy on Monday.
The
and
round
that's
tables.
brand spanking new than it's ever been. Like, I was at a toss-up between which events to go to, because we've never done that before. We don't really get free time this year, so I was happy to have it, but I was also kind of like, bummer, because I've got you guys, I've got my team, and then there's your CS, your cams and all that. I was like, I don't know when I'm going to find time to meet up with all these people, so I was a little
We
bit
always,
overwhelmed.
you
you're
are in
always
high
looking
demand.
for you. Yes. Where's Veronica?
Well,
Try.
and our company brought a second person for the first time this year.
That's awesome.
We decided at the very end of October, our payroll manager is coming. And so she's here, and it's her very first time. And so one of the things that was great for her was she was able to go ahead and do the BI roundtables, get some help with
nice.
reports. I think she spent 2 hours in there. I know that she said that she was going to do one of the tours. I'm not sure if she had a chance to do it or not, but seeing those tours of like, hey, here's where things are, I think is huge
That was a nice improvement,
for some of
yeah.
the, especially for the new folks.
Should we have been on those tours since we got lost a little bit on day one?
Now, having gone through day one, I do think I should have gone on it. I didn't realize it.
Right.
But those are some, like, we've had the roundtables in the past before. I love that they've continued it through. It's great. And I do like that addition of tours. And knowing that our next Aspire will be at a different location, I hope that they keep the tours up and have that for everybody, because it'll be everybody's first time at that new place.
Should we get into that as long as we're talking about it?
Yeah, we're already there, Dalton. You drop.
Yeah.
You be
Yeah.
teasing.
I'm
You
gonna
tease
tease
everything.
it.
Teaser. Just
Yes,
say it.
just
So
say it.
I've been talking too much, though. Someone else take that one.
So
Go ahead.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So those that are listening, and it's the end of day one, if you haven't noticed it, if you flip over your card or your name badge and you see the fine print on the bottom,
Read it all
Aspire,
out.
May 2027, Venetian, Vegas.
And that was a miss. I mean, there could have been announcements about that.
Well, and they've been teasing that it's going to be put off for a year for
Yeah.
a while. So to kind of put it in fine print, we don't want to talk about where it should have been placed because we're going to talk about that in 30 seconds, I think.
Yep.
Yes.
But it was a miss because even my cam didn't know. I was sitting at breakfast and was like, oh, it's on the back. What do you mean? Like internally, there's a lack of communication. We've said this year over year. Communication is key, communication is key, communication is key. And it sounds like so far we've got some communication challenges. Is that fair?
I'd say so. It really feels like some folks know and some folks don't.
Yeah.
And so because of that, if some of the UKG folks don't know, especially our CAMs who are our first point of contacts, then that makes the information flow to the customers a little harder.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
And puts the CAMs in an awkward spot.
It does.
does.
It does.
Because it makes their life harder if someone comes up and says, "Hey, why didn't you tell me this?" And they're like, "I didn't know."
Right?
Ooh,
Yes.
in sync.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's the coveted time that Dalton likes to talk about. The opening session.
Well, I've been chatting so much. Someone else, go for it.
What?
I'll start us off
Yeah.
in the opening session, right? So we're going in lackluster. Is what I mean. The setup, we talked about how the setup was very different, a downplay in what we're used to seeing, right? And you guys definitely chimed in here, right?
It was smaller. It didn't bother me that it was smaller, but it was different.
Yes.
Well, it made me realize how many people aren't here. And I
Yeah.
noticed how many people came and went throughout the session.
Yep.
It was very noticeable. I remember a couple years ago where the sound stage was not on the floor because
Yeah.
the whole entire floor was just jam-packed with people and all the stands were jam-packed.
Yeah.
But to me, I want to say this. I think the CEO is very gregarious. Is that a good word for this?
Charismatic.
Charismatic.
Is a good
Yeah,
word.
that's-
that's the
Like
word
she's
we're
very
gonna use.
charismatic.
Yeah.
I think the information, they've had different openers, and the fact that she spent the entire time leading it was nice.
It was nice.
refreshing
Yes.
because she's very well spoken. She clearly knows the information, and
She just got a strong
it
presence.
was her presence was hitting. And I think the two leaders that they chose, her and Suresh, so Jennifer
Perfect.
and Suresh,
Yes.
perfect for the
Yes.
opening session.
Fantastic.
And I think the content overall was hit. It
Yeah.
was a hit. But there were some, go ahead.
Well,
Yeah, I know.
and-
That's
I was like, but
And I want to say, like, how it was presented. I know last year they tried presenting some of it with paid actors in a skit versus
That's true.
this year
We're
they had.
talking
took that
about
feedback.
it all year, though. So
and they took that feedback
Yeah.
because we met with Rachel and she asked that. And it seems like they took they kept the same
Yeah.
concept but refined it.
Well, and they had it presented by either UKG employees who knew about it instead of actors who didn't know what
could tell.
They got the script, but that was it. And no shame to them coming from a theater background. Like they did what they knew
Yep.
and could do. But I do love that they took that feedback, and I think that change in UKG employees presenting it hit home better this year.
Yeah.
and the presentation, like how they would cut away, and even that whole interaction with Siri. Like I don't remember that.
That was awesome.
That was
Yeah.
awesome. I really liked that.
I really also enjoyed that. Now it's kind of both hit and miss for me. I really enjoyed the way the video. This is very technical. The video montage, especially when Jennifer was
Yeah.
speaking, the way that the content was presented made it easier to consume. It was. I just like that whole layout. I really even like the opening act. I thought it was much better. I was like
that was
nice.
the whole
solid.
light
It
show
was.
thing and the drums that had me.
Yes.
I was like super excited
That
about
presentation, I want that slide deck because I think that my leaders would love to see that.
I thought it was really great. Now I'll tell you what I did think was a bit much was how much. Like I missed how in the previous they would do more like slides and it was quick hits and then you get to go back and find out a little bit more. It was so much jam packed in there. And there's a lot of acronyms, a lot of new products. I'm not going to even halfway remember them because it was just too much. But I will say this for the ready people, it was nice to see them get. Oh, sorry, people, I knocked my water bottle over. It was nice to
Not a
see
chair.
them. It's not a chair. There's always something at Aspire. But Ready actually got a spotlight.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah, that
never
was
been
nice to
talked
see.
about. And so for the folks that are Ready customers, I bet they were asking for that. So that was kind of nice to see
It was,
that.
for sure.
It was, and to segue into that, the timing though, right?
I know. I try to stay away from it.
Let's
I
get
know.
into it.
Go
Let's-
on.
So when we weren't allowed to register for all of our sessions on a first come first served basis, and then your general session is running over, and so many people left. I felt horrible
Yeah.
Yeah.
for the last interview.
Well, and not just did it go long, but we went into the session saying it would be over at 10:30, and then if you refreshed your app halfway through, they realized that they were going long, and they pushed out the end time on the app to 10:55, which if you have a 5-minute time to get between the general session and your first come first serve,
Yeah.
people are going to leave,
They're gonna
and
leave, yeah.
it feels really bad for, I think it was the person from Google who was up
Yeah.
there.
Google
for,
Cloud, yeah.
And I'm going to be honest,
Yeah.
my first session was standing room only. And that was one of the ones I really, really wanted. Like, you folks know I don't make a lot of sessions, but the ones that I do put, they're very
vital.
important.
Yeah.
And I was the first person standing. And then by the time I walked out the door 20 minutes in, there was about 10 or 12 other people standing with me. And I was just like, I'm not standing for an hour.
Yeah.
So I found my backup session, which I found a seat, and it ended up being a really, really, I was actually sending the materials to my employees, so it was really good. But I was really looking forward to that first one, but I needed transparency, I needed a potty, I needed a coffee, I needed
Oh,
to
yeah.
do all the things, and unfortunately, they were late. I think some opportunities, because I'm all about give them feedback that
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
be helpful. Too many customer spotlights.
Yeah.
Way too many. Like
Agreed.
I think it was fantastic. I love Marriott, and I loved hearing their story. But you went from Marriott, you had a couple of little window.
Unify.
Then yes, you had
Unify.
Unify,
Yeah.
and you had Google Cloud,
Yeah.
and that was just the
And
people that
Pepsi.
were and Pepsi,
Pepsi,
that were
yeah.
on the
Not
stage.
Pepsi.
So it was like it was a bit much for the session that we had, and that's what bled over into the time. And I do think, as much as I like the little vignettes, it was too long. Each one of them they were too many of them. I was like, oh my gosh.
They did a good job with them, but they need to cut a little bit of time off of the individual vignettes
Yeah.
and choose what they want to highlight. Because what I remember is that it was smooth and clean, but I can't exactly tell you what each of the new products was and what differentiated it from
Correct.
the next.
That's-
If you had your notebook, you probably could have wrote all that down.
Did right in there. Oh my gosh. No, I go back to what you said. I felt really bad because I did notice that people were leaving.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if you're first time attenders,
Yep.
you don't understand that. Plus, you know that a lot of those probably were UKG people or people that were presenting to go get prepared for people that came
Yeah.
early.
Yeah.
That's a good point,
It was
yeah.
inevitable,
Yeah.
right? They had to leave early. But overall, I think that they skinnied it down in a way, but they also jam-packed it. I missed the 2-day opening general sessions
Yeah.
and not just the keynote, because it
Yeah.
allows you to take more time where it matters
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
versus knock us out the
Yeah.
box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the 2-day, and I think that if for some reason you can't do the 2-day, you really need to go ahead and stick to hour and a half max for that. So, yeah, that's my thought there.
Okay.
All right, we left the general session.
We're running to now
We're
our
running
breakout
to our-
sessions.
We didn't
Yes.
get any snacks this morning or afternoon.
So hungry.
So what? Let's since we're hungry now.
Can we talk about food?
Let's not
So
touch-
I'm
yeah.
gonna kick it off with just a really minor thing that is gonna sound minor, and then we can kind of get into the bigger
Yeah.
thing as far
Yeah.
as food is concerned. So this morning we all went to breakfast, and I noticed that on the tables they weren't sectioned off anymore. So you didn't have like this kind of sections for manufacturing, or maybe this is for hospitality, and this is for
to meet your people.
Yeah,
to,
the-
to
Or
meet
to get
to meet like
similar
industries.
These are
Yeah.
first-time comers.
Yeah.
Right.
These are pro users.
And I'm okay with not having, or maybe like a section that doesn't have them, because if you come in big groups, you may or may not. But I'm thinking about for those first timers that are here and that may be alone, not having a section like that of kind of your own industry is another mess. Granted, very, very minor, but I'm thinking of the
it helps with the networking.
It's
It
minor.
does.
It's minor major, and it's so small
Yes.
that accomplishing that. And I didn't think about it because I had dinner with, oh my gosh, breakfast with our CAM in a whole nother room that I've never been to ever, and it was specific to like the different industries in this room. So I didn't get to see the mornings, lunch or breakfast. I don't know why I'm off with my times. Probably because I'm hungry. You know, I'm off with my times. But you're right. I think that there's little moments, little things that I don't know why they didn't do them.
Yeah.
Like, and that's one of them. Sorry.
I think we'll probably get into more of this at either later in this episode or tomorrow. I'm wondering how much of what got skipped or missed has to do with the fact that there was a rebrand so close to Aspire that you had to go ahead and focus on the stage, the new banner, like everything that has to get done for all the big pieces that maybe some of the little ones got missed. That's my best guess.
You're such a glass half full, and I
So
am that way
sweet.
normally.
Yes.
But it's the details that matter.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
I am with you 100%.
It's, and it's so minor, but you have a lot of, we're going to call us repeat offenders. We've been here
Love
year
it.
over year
Love
over
it.
year, and we're creatures of habit, but there's also some familiarity.
We're used to being pampered.
That we are very much bougie in that way.
But we're owning it.
But we're
we are
right?
owning the
So,
bougie.
I do think so. We all left. Did anybody go? Everybody went to their first sessions. Did you enjoy
Yeah.
them? So
No.
far, let's talk quickly about before we talk about the food. That I'm so hungry. How did we enjoy our sessions overall?
I think that
So I had
I
three.
actually enjoy the two I saw.
I had 3 sessions today, and the first one wasn't bad. There wasn't no wow factor. I was expecting from the title a bit of a deeper dive than the summary that I got, but that's not a problem. I still think that I got a lot of good information out of it. My next session was a roadmap, and the roadmap,
Gotcha.
unfortunately, felt like it was 90% opening session and fall release
Yeah.
R2
So it's a repeat.
with like 2% new things in there. And so normally the roadmap doesn't have that full recap. I think that if they'd really slimmed down a lot of the general session and didn't focus as much on the R2 release, then that roadmap would have had so many new exciting things.
Okay.
But it felt a little lackluster because of that. My third one was a hands-on learning. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. No notes, loved
What was it? Which one did you
Platform
do?
configuration.
Oh, good. I skipped my hands-on. I don't know why. It was just so much was going on. I will say that I went to my first session, which was on OneView, global payroll, and it was going phenomenal, but it was standing room only, right? I was the first of, as I said earlier, and I was super excited about that. And so when I was in it, and I was like, oh, but then I was like, it's an hour. I was like, I don't think I could do an hour.
And if you have any questions, I've been talking to them for
I have been.
Yes.
So we've been
Yeah.
working with them, but I was super, like one of the things is, it's all about change management.
Yep.
And I've seen it and I know,
Absolutely.
but it was with, I think the gentleman's name is I can't remember his name, but he's over the entire OneView. And I've met a couple people in the past. And so I was like really excited to see what different spin, but I had left that one. But I will say my consolation prize was around role switching, dynamic role switching. And it was focused on workforce management, which you guys know I live in and
Yes.
breathe in every day. And it was amazing. It was really good information. There was a lot of good nuggets. And although you start solutioning in the audience, and when I tell you this room was like wall to wall, it had to be at least 70 to 80, 100 people in there.
Wow.
And it was really, really good. I was super excited about that one. And so I'm hoping that, and it was so cool because the guy was moderating. He was the guy's boss. And so that was presenting, and so he came back and said, it's his first time presenting, everyone.
Nice.
And so you could, and it was
Yeah.
so cool because he was really passionate about it, but you could tell. So I was actually impressed by the ones that I did go to.
It's good.
That's good. This is no.
What are you gonna
I want to say that the stuff that I went to wasn't bad. I think that some of it was much stronger than others.
Agreed.
There's a moment over here. What about you? You said silence.
I did a hands-on as well, and it was point in time reporting.
That's what I was going to do. How was it?
I felt like I could do it in my sleep because but there is one thing that I did learn new where, you know how we all use the rank when we're doing different reporting?
Yeah.
Now in properties, you go in, there's a certain area, and you checkbox the rank. And
it auto does it?
Well, no.
Oh.
But I did ask, I was like, so it's just supposed to make it more efficient. And for those of us who build these massive reports, anything that helps runtime is good. So I took that away, and then I was able to help the lady sitting next to me, which was great. She kept apologizing. I was like, don't worry about this. And so I felt like that was nice, right? Help. That's what
it's about. I was going to say.
We help each other.
That's what it's about. We're here to help people.
User group.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Okay, Andy, you said nothing about your sessions.
That's right. No.
Is that good or bad? Like, I don't know.
My first one was a hands-on session about dashboarding, which, like Cheryl was saying, I've done a lot of dashboarding, but I just like to go into sessions and try to learn something new.
One thing or something, yeah.
And they did a dashboard on setting up earnings. You can see everything, and it was great. But it's also a session that, since we had the instructions, I could have probably done on my own, which is fine. And then Dalton and I was also in that same session as yours as far as the roadmap. Again, I agree with you. A little salty about it because I did see you sitting 2 rows behind me and didn't come over and sit by me.
You didn't acknowledge Andy?
I didn't know that you were in that one. I didn't see you at all.
Whatever.
Oh, he saw you, and he's like, I'm not sitting over there. He saw
I've already hung out with him way too much. And then,
is that why you skipped the next session with me?
Exactly.
He's still throwing his tantrum. Watch out.
Still
Watch
salty.
out. Yes.
But no, after that session, I went and visited the expo quite a bit and started to make my rounds there, which I think maybe because we're at about 27 minutes now, maybe we talk about the expo tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just kind of fit that into it.
It's like a preview.
Okay,
I did a preview of it today.
We will because I don't think I really even got a full swing of it, but what I did see, I have some feedback already, so we'll hold that until tomorrow.
Yeah.
Can I say one other thing? I did do a session, I was on a panel, and I will say that
We missed heckling you?
Yeah,
you
we
missed
did.
heckling me, yes. I was impressed by my panelists.
Good.
Oh, that's good.
That's-
They
So
were, one gentleman was from XKIG. It's really cool. They clear the vegetation off of the power lines.
Oh.
I know, right? I never even thought there was a company that did it. Super cool. He had a lot of people from his team, learned so much from what they're doing and how they manage their system. And then I was with a gentleman he was with Comcast. Afterwards, I wanted to ask him, so we stopped and had this whole conversation about how they're managing employee experience and things. So even for me, being on that panel, I don't usually get a lot of folks that I'm super enamored by, but I was on a great panel today to the point where I was like, I want to learn more about how you guys are doing that. So even in a
That's
session,
cool.
it was really nice because we tend to push, I'm going to say my team, we push the envelope a little bit, but it's so refreshing to meet customers that have new ideas. Like you said, you learn something new. I'm always enjoy that because you don't get it often anymore when you've been old vets for such quite a long
true.
time.
Experienced.
Like us. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Seasoned, very
Seasoned,
seasoned.
experience.
I know we're not going to talk about Expo, but I'm sorry, we have to talk about food because I'm still hungry.
Okay.
What
Yes.
was the no
So
snacks?
let's just say this. I left the expo to go get lunch, looked in the room and said, no way. And I went to a little
You made the-
convenient.
Before you say
You made the
something.
right choice because I was in line for 31 minutes before I got my food.
And here's the thing, I wanted to run to the expo, then grab food, then go to my session. And I had our group chat blowing up and my team's group chat blowing up about how long the line was, how are we gonna get food. I am one of many. Andy didn't get food.
Nope.
Someone else on my team did not get food. UKG, the biggest miss you had, was number one. I hear the food that people did get was great. I will say that.
It was,
Everyone
yes.
said the food was really good. The problem is, I'm just going to be the bad guy here. I didn't spend this much money to get a box lunch and not have a place to sit and not have time to get it, because I would have liked to sat down, had a meal, maybe with the podcast or the user group,
caught up with
whatever
us,
the case may be. And the one factor I've heard, and it impacted my panel, because half the people were trying to go get food and didn't get food. So
Lucked. I was gonna say lucked out because the session I was in prior got out early, and so I was able to get food. I was the one, helping text and whatever. And poor Dalton gets in line, and
So I think the tricky thing is, like, I got there 5 minutes after lunch opened.
Yeah.
So still very early. I can see that there's grab and go areas, but there's no signage on the fact
What
that
it
there's
is.
different
What's
things
where.
on.
That it's different, yeah.
One, that it's different, and
Yep.
two, once you find out that it's different, where things are, there's no like, hey, this is what the lines are for each. All the lines started forming pretty organically, which meant that you had lines that you're like, oh, I think that goes here, and then when you follow it, you realize, no, it goes elsewhere. So there just wasn't. Again, this comes down
chaos.
no
to
direction.
Yeah.
to direction, to communication.
kind of like the meet me here signs.
Yeah, that don't exist.
Oh yeah.
Where are those?
Where are those at? So I think that's a big miss, and just to tell you guys, I've already heard that that's the way that lunch is going to go the rest of the week. So we know now ahead of time that
Leave
we've got to be
session early.
prepared. Which stinks.
It does
for the
stink.
people
It
that
does
are doing
stink.
that. It's so rude.
It is rude.
to
It's
like
very
walk
rude.
out unless you have to, but to
Yeah.
make sure that you can eat.
Yep.
You've got to go. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and pairing long lines like that, and knowing that you have to wait in them with a first come first serve for classes, like I don't
stressful.
I don't mind the first come first serve overall so far, because I do think that people are, as a general rule, being able to get to and get into classes that they might not have been able to otherwise. But having things like the opening session run long, having lunch, 30 minutes in line for lunch, that starts to impact the first come first serve, which I think will create a more negative experience around that idea in the future. I don't think that the idea
Agree,
itself is
yeah.
inherently a bad one, but I think that you have to give that buffer time for people to make it to their sessions, to eat between it,
Well,
if you're
I
going to
think
do
you
it.
need, and I didn't go in there, but from what I've heard, you also need a place for people to sit and eat. Like, you've got to create a tape. Like, if you're going to do that, you said it, ample amount of time, a place to sit down and park and eat what you're going to eat. There's a lot there. And the other thing, if you're not going to, and this could be a potential gap, bring back the break snacks.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
there were
100%.
no snacks during morning or afternoon break, which kind of could tide people over if they happen to miss or whatever. We're in the expo hall eating, it was very good popcorn.
It was very
But
good.
like getting popcorn or popsicles.
Or the ice cream,
Or
yeah.
buying
Yeah.
food when, I'm gonna be honest, I prepared my team, as I do. You don't need to buy food. There's
Yeah.
ample amount of food. You're gonna have meals.
Or
Make
bring
sure
your own
you do
snacks,
that.
or-
You don't
yeah.
need to do any of that. So to not be told ahead of time,
Yeah.
another opportunity for better communication.
Yeah.
It feels like a lot of the misses that we're seeing come down to expectations that existed from veteran attendees of things that worked, that we're just not seeing work the same way, the same efficiency, and just weren't communicated ahead of time.
Yeah.
I think that most of our complaints really do boil down to that. Like, let us know about these changes and try to go ahead and keep the efficiency that you had.
Constructive feedback.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be some feedback from even first timers that have ever been to a conference, right? I don't know if you know the difference if you've never been to a conference, but I definitely think that there's been some major misses, but there's been some highs, some
Yeah.
highlights, right? Anybody else? We said we're going to save the expo till day 2-ish, maybe even
Well,
3-ish.
I think day 2, because I think that ties very nicely into the teaser that we want, if anybody would like to go ahead and tease that.
Ooh, yes. I feel like Andy, I'm looking at Andy.
Yeah.
I feel like you're the
Good
teaser.
You don't
Yeah?
give too, and you
Look
don't
at
give
that.
too much.
That's
You
true.
give just the right
enough.
amount to get them excited.
It's the saltiness. It
It
works.
is
It is
saltiness. It
balance.
works.
It's not too sweet, Dalton. It's a little bit salty.
Yes, and we're a mix of the two.
We're
of that.
bit, yeah.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah.
be both. You never know what you're gonna get.
That's true. Love it.
So, as a little tease for those of you that have attended the expo, you may have noticed in the middle of the expo there is a recording studio there. And your favorite HTM podcasters may be in that tomorrow. And we'll see how that goes.
Maybe at 11 a.m.
Maybe at 11 a.m.
Maybe at 11 a.m.
So if you're not in a session and
You want to wave through the window.
that's right.
Right? Yeah.
So that's like tease one for the day.
Correct.
I think we have 2 more
We have
teases.
two.
We have
Yes,
a couple
we
more
have a
teases,
couple.
so that's a really big one, and it's new to UKG, the podcast booth.
Yes.
Yes.
We're excited that we could pop up at the pop-up booth tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love it.
And for those that are, well, I'm assuming everybody's going to be attending tomorrow's opening session with the keynote speaker. Just be excited for it. That's my little tease.
Good. And there's actually 4. And we always interview,
who's that? I
and we
love it.
always interview
Yes.
some really cool people.
Yeah.
And so we're not going to tell you who. You got to stay tuned, but just know that we're keeping our tradition alive of meeting with the executive team and leaders. So we'll say that much.
Yep.
Who is it? And this time we've got double the dose of fun.
Yep.
Usually it's
Yes.
only one. Ooh, that kind of rhymes.
Yeah.
Usually there's only one,
One.
but this year there's double the dose of fun. So we've got 2 awesome leaders within the UKG organization that are going to join us on the podcast tomorrow. And so you won't hear from them today, but you'll stay tuned for tomorrow's episode. It's going to be a jam-packed day.
It's
tomorrow.
It's going to be so
Very
busy
jam-packed.
tomorrow.
It's going to be super impactful. Woo! What else we got? Anything else we want to say?
I'm just excited to talk about and debrief about the expo hall in the expo hall.
In
Yes.
tonight,
It's so appropriate.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what's really.
we don't know what to expect for tonight, but when
Yes.
you catch us tomorrow, we'll tell you all about it and our
Yeah.
thoughts.
Yeah.
You got to make sure, if you see Jeronica tomorrow in the morning, talk a little quieter. She likes to party hard.
Wow, look at him. Wow. I'm going to be always well behaved, Dalton. What are you talking about?
I'm excited to see people come up and like whisper when they see you now. Yeah. They'll be like, you're a listener, you're a listener.
And they
Yes.
start whispering.
Yep.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
How's it going, John?
Then I'm going to yell back, I feel fine.
Right.
No, I think that's really, really cool. So for all of those who are tuning in with us after this is tonight, we hope you enjoyed tonight's
Yes.
Tuesday kickoff events. I'm sure you all are invited like we are to many, many partner events.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoy those as well. We are super excited to be here no matter our hits or misses. We are always happy to be together, as Andy said.
Yep.
We're happy to be at Aspire. We're happy you're tuning in. And tell your friends, find us,
Yeah.
We
look
have
for us.
stickers.
We have stickers.
Stickers to give you.
Yes.
There's always one of us floating around here. Don't be afraid to say hi. And if you're not subscribed yet to the podcast, like, subscribe, share.
I love
and
it.
Andy,
Yeah.
what platforms are we on?
We are available on Apple, Amazon, and Spotify.
Woo! Year 3?
Year 3.
3 platforms. I love it.
Yes.
All right, are we ready?
We are
to
ready.
wrap
I
it up?
think so.
Oh, yeah.
Well, with that, this is logging into UKG, logging out.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.